So I was meh at best with the last TMNT Classic Collection featuring the movie star turtles. So then why did I buy this Classic Collection Sewer Sports 4-pack? I don't know. We'll try to answer that on this episode of Geek Dad Life. Hello everyone and welcome to Geek Dad Life. It's your host, Jay Glatfelter here. All right, we all know that I was not a big fan of that movie star turtle 4-pack that Playmates released last year. They just looked really cheap. They used the wrong accessories, and let's just not even bring up that Master Splinter. He still haunts my dreams. So after the disappointment of that set, I thought to myself, you know what, I think I'm just done with these retro repacks from Playmates. They're clearly not putting in a lot of effort, and, you know, there's plenty of options for me to get my turtle fix. So if those were my feelings and thoughts, why did I go back and buy this set from Playmates? It's a fair question that I don't even know if I can honestly answer. You know, there's not just one simple answer. I think there's kind of a multitude of answers that I could probably give. But I think I can give some of my top reasons. One, these are toys that I actually had as a kid, but I don't actually have any of the sports turtles today. You know, I when I was looking through my collection, I don't think I have any of the All-Star Sewer Sports turtles, any of the different ones that they've made. So it'd be kind of cool to have these back in my collection. These sets are also really reasonably priced, and you kind of get a lot of bang for your buck with these packs. The other big thing for me is in looking at the pictures, they look to be, you know, pretty good recreations of the toys versus the movie star set that, you know, even in the online pics looked like it was cutting a lot of corners. It didn't look to be the same for this All-Star Sports set. So, you know, I know us toy collectors are a fickle bunch. One day we'll say we're totally done with collecting these, and the next day we'll go and buy that very thing we say we are totally done with. And I fully admit that I am one of those toy collectors with this set. So I did my order on Target.com and I shipped within a week. So it was a pretty painless purchasing experience. And just like that, it arrived on my doorstep. So now that I have this thing in hand, do I immediately regret it? No, thankfully, no. I actually think these things are pretty darn good recreations of those vintage figures. Let me tell you why. Unlike those movie star turtles, everything is there with these figures. And what I mean by that is all their accessories, all of the action features, all of the paint applications that those original figures had are present on these sports turtles. So there isn't this sense that I'm getting a lesser than even knockoff feeling version of a vintage figure in this, you know, nice packaging. Each one feels great. It's like I'm getting a vintage figure when I'm opening it up. And, you know, if I'm sharing this with my kids who also love turtles, they'll get a kick out of it as well. And they won't be, you know, freaked out like, you know, the Splinter who must not be named. That's not to say this set is not without its faults. Some of them that were, you know, there on the original figures, like the shell-kicking Raph, you know, that feature, that action feature that allows him to kick the soccer ball, which still works on this new version of the figure back then, and now it makes it darn near impossible to stand this figure up. You know, I kind of have to use his hands and arms to kind of hold his leg down so it won't try to kick and fall over. So, you know, that's something that I remember being a problem with the original figure, and it's here as well. I'm not going to beat him up too much for that because, you know, they are recreating the vintage figure. It was a flaw then, and it's still a flaw now. Another choice that kind of frustrated me with this set was their inclusion of Skateboarding Mike. There's nothing wrong with this figure in particular. It's honestly, you know, seemingly a like-for-like recreation of the vintage figure. But there's one problem. He was not a Sewer Sports All-Star figure in the original toy line. That honor and distinction goes to Shell Slammin' Mike, which was a really cool pro wrestler style action figure version of Michelangelo. I loved this figure as a kid, and, you know, I kind of, you know, just mentally assumed, even though clearly it showed on the website ordering screen that it was the skateboarding Mike, but, you know, I just assumed, well, it's the sports star Mike, it's gonna be the wrestling one. But when I saw it open, I was like, oh, wait a second. That's not the wrestling Michelangelo. And yeah, so, you know, I don't know why they chose to include this version of Michelangelo in this set versus the Shell, Slam, and Mike. But honestly, I'm a little bit disappointed. I really liked that figure as a kid. I don't know where it went now. It may be in one of my boxes somewhere, but I don't have it in my display. And I would have liked to have had that one again. I know my kids would have liked it as well. So I don't know why they didn't choose that one for this set. You know, it could be a production reason. It could be, you know, they just felt like, skateboarding is more of a sport than wrestling, which I'm not going to get into that debate. But, you know, I think I, for one, am a little bit disappointed. I still think this Michelangelo is a good figure. I think they did a good job with it. I just don't understand why this was included versus the Shell, Slam, and Mike. It's my only one glaring problem with this set. As a kid, the wrestling Mike was my fave, but I don't have him here in this set. But as an adult looking back on these toys with fresh eyes, my fave of this wave has to go to Slam Dunk and Don. I mean, it's a freaking Michael Jordan-esque Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles figure. I mean, I love all the Turtles, but Donnie's a particular fave, and he's great here. I think his action feature still works great. You know, if you're setting up the hoop and you're, you know, flicking the ball, you can actually get it to go in if you try hard enough. You know, some of the later versions or re-release versions actually tied the ball to a string, which I guess, you know, maybe added to the play feature ability of it. I don't know if that actually helped at all. They omitted that with this re-release of the figure, but he looks great. He's a ton of fun. He's one that, you know, I think toy collectors, even if you don't have a big Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle collection, you know, you can just put it on your shelf or put it on your desk. He looks awesome. He even has kind of the Horace Grant kind of goggles as well. I mean, just really, he's just really great and a standout from this set. Another one that, you know, I absolutely did not have this one as a kid. I wasn't a big football fan in my younger years, so I never got the TD tossing Leo. And so having him now, with kind of, again, those fresh eyes and really never having the toys, he's actually pretty darn cool. He comes with some great accessories. He comes up with a little tee so he can kick the football. Maybe we'll have, you know, Raph kick the football. And he, you know, has the ability to kind of hold and not really throw the ball, but kind of have the throwing motion. I also love his helmet. His colors also really pop as well. So overall, I really questioned myself, honestly, everyone, when I was ordering this. I was like, why am I doing this? You didn't like the other set. Why are you doing this to yourself? But there was just something in me that I was just like, you know what? I don't have any vintage version of these figures, and it would be fun to kind of, you know, take a trip down memory lane again. And the thing is, the costs of these sets are such that you can kind of just have one of those impulse purchases, and it's not going to break the bank. You know, this is under $50, and in today's world with today's figure prices, that's not too bad to get a nice little dose of nostalgia. The packaging that they put these in is great. I love, you know, how each iteration of these retro packs kind of gives us a different vehicle box to put them in. This one is no different. It's like, you know, one of those sports team vans that's kind of trucking you along. I think that's really cool. And although the card backs aren't exact replicas of the vintage ones had, you know, unique card backs for each character, they still kind of capture the essence that was those Sewer Sports All-Star figures. So this is a 180 experience for me from that movie star set, which I was just really disappointed. It was even cheaper than this set and had more figures, but I'm so much more satisfied with this Sewer Sports All-Stars set. It was just a really fun experience, really enjoyed picking it up, and, you know, maybe now I'll be even more open to future retro sets from Playmates. So Playmates, I think you did a really good job here. This set was a lot of fun, and it definitely gets the Geek Dad Life buy rating. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button, and definitely check out some of my other videos like this one that YouTube wants you to check out, and one of my more recent videos. And until next time, hasta luego, and goodbye.